Hi, I'm Natalie. Thanks for tuning in to the last market update of 2022 presented by the Elite Realtor team. Before we get started, do me a favor and put an unconditional offer towards purchasing that like button and hammer down a few times on the subscribe button while you're there. Thank you. Now, did you know the slowdown in Canada's housing market continued last month? New figures from the Canadian Real Estate Association showed that the average selling price fell drastically to just over $630,000, and the number of home sales are down by almost 40% since January. But the housing market was even chillier than usual this November, with a little over 33,000 homes being sold during the month. That's down about 10% from the typical November sales pace, and down from almost 50,000 across Canada in the same month in 2021. The average selling price of a home that went on CREA's multiple listing service was $632,802. That's 12% below what it was a year ago, and down from 22% from the peak hit in February of this year. There were no big surprises in November's housing numbers, with the data showing the same trends of lower sales and moderating home prices we've been seeing for a number of months now. That price moderation is welcome news for buyers that tried earlier in the pandemic, but came up short again and again. They went through a stressful experience of having to decide whether or not to make an offer based on one rushed visit, and were forced to bid way over the asking price or were left disappointed. The recent pullback allows them to get a comparable unit in the same area and are able to purchase it under the asking price. The head TD Bank economist says the numbers released paint a clear picture of a market that is slowing down and will continue to do so. The demand continues to decline under the weight of rising interest rates, noting that the central bank has already raised its interest rate again this December. We think the Bank of Canada may move their rate slightly higher early next year. This points to continued sales declines in the coming months. So if you're looking to purchase, message the number above to learn the best time to buy a home for the lowest price. That's all for now, folks. See you in the new year. Remember to reach out to us for one-on-one advice and to get your free personalized real estate outlook for 2023. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons before you move on to another video. We really appreciate your support.